Well, welcome everybody to the online program on addiction and recovery from the Sunshine Coast Health Center up here in BC. And we've been talking about boredom in this program and this scientific study of it, because boredom is, according to researchers, linked with an addiction. And again, we're not sure if there's a cause and effect exactly, because most of the research is what we call correlational. It just says, is there any sort of link between these two things, boredom and addiction? And we found out, yes there is. And not only substance addictions, but research has shown in gambling addictions, food addictions, and so on. And one of the things about boredom that I think is important to understand is that it creates this stressful experience for the person who's bored. And this person feels compelled to do something about it. Now, as we mentioned before, most people who don't have addictions, what they do is they go find something that has some personal meaning, some personal challenge to them. That's how they deal with it. Addicts tend to go with a drug, because there is this magical thing about drugs that eliminates boredoms. But people with addictions do this other thing as well, and another tactic to deal with boredom, and that is they like to do exciting things. As the fellows here put it, it's the rush, or some fellows put it, the adrenaline rush. But there's do something that's got some excitement to it. And this is one of the most common things we notice with the fellows in the treatment in the center here, is that they do tend to get easily bored. And so there's got to be something, some spark. They feel this craving to get some excitement in their lives. We've mentioned before in the online program where a couple of times, I think I gave up after a while, but I showed them this movie, just a brilliant movie based on a very famous play by the great alcoholic writer Eugene O'Neill called The Iceman Cometh. And the movie is 4 hours long, and basically it's a bunch of guys sitting in a bar, a bunch of alcoholics sitting in a bar, one of these sort of dive bars. Eugene O'Neill probably wrote about it from his experience. It's based on a bar in New York City. Anyway, the whole place like that, but for 4 hours, that's what goes on. And I think the only exciting bit on it is one guy commits suicide, but you don't even see that. Other than that, they're basically sitting around the bar for 4 hours talking. And first time I showed it, I almost had a riot after the first hour, because I'm not kidding you, nothing's happening. There's no car chases, no one gets shot, no one gets in a big fight, it's just people talking. And the guys told me, God, they couldn't handle it, it's just so boring. Right? And so this idea of being easily bored if nothing exciting is going on. Or I make a joke with the fellows, if an ambulance pulled up here, there'd be more energy expended in the next 10 minutes than they've spent in the last couple of days on stuff that may actually save their life. It's that rush. They want to feel some excitement. They like things out of the normal. And in some cases, maybe they go out and invent some stuff, right, just to add some excitement to their lives. So at any rate, this idea, just to put in a nutshell, is the idea that addicts will live with intensity, live lives that's got some excitement going on for them, as a substitute for living a life that has personal meaning. In other words, it's almost like this living this intense life, or this craving for emotional intensity is actually acting as a response to boredom, at least according to what we've seen in the center here. And so this is another clue about life. And at the center here, we warn people about, if they're craving the adrenaline rush, the emotional intensity, this may actually be all wrapped up in the addiction, and something certainly to address. And we certainly don't encourage people to go out and go parachuting 6 times a day when they get out of here, or find some other adrenaline activity. It's okay if it's in balance, right, just a part. But this whole idea of relying on emotional intensity, the adrenaline rush, in order to produce some sort of feeling that will keep boredom away, seems maybe a dangerous tactic. Maybe a much better tactic to start finding something that has a lot more personal meaning, that's got some depth to it, and maybe that's really the answer to overcoming boredom. Anyway, that's it for our online program, and we'll be back next time with a new topic.